invite Professor Dr. Sabu Thomas, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, for the inaugural address. Welcome, dear sir.
Very good morning to all of you. Very good morning. Thank you, Dr. Divya, for the kind words of introduction. The principal of the college, Professor Dr. Father Dasapan, the IQAC coordinator, Professor Dr. Santosh Kumar, Dr. Divya, distinguished speakers today, Dr. Kevin, the former Pro-Vice Chancellor of Mahatma University, and Dr. Shaji Jacob, professor at Sanskrit University, all my friends, teachers, and my dear students. I'm extremely happy today to interact with you. I have listened to the talk of your principal, Father Dasapan. He's a great visionary. And I always appreciate the nice work being done by Jesuit priests. I visited many Jesuit institutions when I was in Europe and United States. I know their wonderful work. They're committed for high quality education. India also, I visited several of their institutions. Yesterday, I spoke to Dasapan, Father Dasapan, that my former co-worker served his college for a short while. So congratulations for the leadership that you're giving to the college. And I'm very glad to see your vision document for the next 50 years. Fantastic. And I'm glad to see your progressive growth. Principal has very meticulously described the dynamics of the growth process. And I'm sure if you all work hard, this could be transformed into an excellent university. I wish all the best for the same. And I'm really glad that you are discussing a very important topic today: chances and challenges of NEP in higher education. So I'm sure you will have a lot of discussion today, and the deliberations of this meeting will be extremely useful to chalk out concrete plans so that St. Xavier's College could be transformed into autonomous college and eventually into a world-class university. I wish you all the best, and Mahatma Gandhi University will be there for you to give all the support. All sorts of intellectual, support for the growth of the college. So with all your permission, I declare that this webinar on chances and challenges of NEP in higher education has been inaugurated. And I wish you all the best. Now I'm going to share you the PPT I've made for this to give a lecture about the topic of the conference. I hope you will permit me to share my screen. Father, can I use my screen? Can I share my PPT?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure, Father. Sure, sir. Please share it.
Sure.
Yes. I'm going to share the PPT I've made for the presentation today.
Yeah.
Can you all see the slide?
Sure. Very clear.
So the title of the presentation is National Education Policy, Challenges, Opportunities towards Higher Education. I will focus on research, collaborations, and global standards. Those who want to know me more about my activities, you can go to sabuthomas.com. I have my own website. and www.iiucnmgu.ac.in. These are the web pages of mine. Those who really want to look at my activities, programs, you can definitely see my website. Let me first present the dynamics of the education policy in the country, the evolution of the education policy in the country. The University Education Commission was established 48-49, immediately after independence. Then came Secondary Education Commission, 52-53. Then we have this famous Dr. D.S. Kottayam Commission report. That's a very famous report. 1964-66. Subsequently, national policy on education was declared in 1968. The then Prime Minister of India. That is the first education policy we have made. I request everyone to remember this date, 1968. That was the first education policy. Subsequently, we have a constitutional amendment. We all know that education is the concurrent list. The state and the center has to work together for the education. So education brought under concurrent list in 1976. Another important landmark, we all should remember the next date, 1986, National Policy on Education, brought by then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. The first policy was introduced in 1968, then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. 1986 policy was introduced by the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. Then there was a modification, 1992, the then Prime Minister. 1986 modified. Then we have to wait for a long time. You see, 2016, TSR Subramaniam Committee report came, 27 May 2016. And now we have Dr. Kasuri Rangan Committee report, approved by the cabinet. And it is only a policy document now. We are discussing this policy document all over the country. And eventually it has to be approved by, Parliament with all the modification, and you have to get the assent from the President of India. So these are dynamics of the whole education scenario. I will go to the next slide. If you look at the education policy 2020, the most important point is, the most important aspect of education policy is transform millions of Indians into global citizens. That is the main agenda. Transform millions of Indians into global citizens. If you go through this education policy, you will see several words on high quality education, several words on equity. Several times you can see in the document sustainability. You can see sustainability word. So in summary, this education policy is a great document to transform millions of Indians into skilled global citizens. The very important point, if you look at the number of youngsters in India, we beat all the nations. According to UN, India has a maximum number of youngsters. And if you can give right education to all the young people, I'm sure India will be one of the best countries in the world. Now I'm going to show you the key principles of NEP. The first point is respect for diversity and local context. We all know that India is a diverse country. We speak different languages, different culture, different climatic conditions. Respect that diversity. At the same time, we have to look at the local context. That's a very important point. You framework your curriculum, pedagogy, everything, respecting diversity and local context. Second important point of education policy is equity and inclusion. Equality is very important. You have to include everyone. That is what is inclusion. The third important point is active participation from the communities. Very, very important. Philanthropic participation, private, public participation, participation from the local self-government, very, very important. Look at the next point, the use of technology. Wherever you can apply technology, you apply technology. Technology for teaching, technology for learning, technology for research, technology for evaluation. Wherever you can apply modern technology, use the technology for everywhere. What is the next point? Conceptual understanding. Stop a rote learning process. I hope you understand rote learning. കാണാതെ പഠിച്ചിട്ട് എഴുതുന്ന rote learning. You stop that process. Understand the principles. Understand the concept. Very, very important. ഈ കാണാതെ പഠിച്ച് എഴുതുന്ന പ്രസ്ഥാനം നിർത്തുക. Unique capabilities. Students should have really unique capabilities. Critical thinking and creativity, very important points. One of the important points of higher education is you have to develop critical thinking. You have to develop creativity. And the last point is continuous evaluation process, continuous review process to have sustained development. These are the essence of national education policy. Now I'm going to show you just one or two slides on school. Then I will focus more on higher education. If you look at the school education, right now we have the 10+2. And the bottom part you can see our kindergarten. So we always say 10+2. And this 10+2 has been transformed into, you know, what the government is going to do is 3+2. 5+3+3+4. This is what government is going to do. A fantastic foundation for 5 years where the kids are going to play and learn. There's a great difference. Now the kids have to mark a lot of things, they have a lot of homework, but there's a dramatic change in the policy. The kids have to really play and learn. And if you look at the next 3 years, preparatory, interactive classroom learning. Again, you have a lot of play-based learning process. And you have middle stage, 3 years, experimental learning process, science, mathematics, they study everything, science, mathematics, art, social science, humanities. And look at the last 4 years, where the children are going to have multidisciplinary study, greater critical thinking, choice of subject, where you can have science, humanities, social sciences. Before that, the kids are going to study everything. So this is the major difference. The school today and what we are going to have the coming years. Now, I'm going to talk to you about higher education. See, we are getting students to the school with a lot of critical thinking power. I'm going to list some of the salient features of higher education. The first point is 50% gross enrollment ratio, GER. What is the meaning of that? What percent of students are able to get into higher education? The government wants to get 50%. What is it right now? What is the figure? 24%. After +2, only 24% of the students are able to get into higher education. That has to be changed. That has to be increased to 50%. Look at Korea. More than 90% youngsters get into higher education. That is why Korea is developing very fast. Maximum patents are filed in Korea. If you look at worldwide, they're number one filing patents. What is the next important point? Holistic multidisciplinary education. Multiple entry and exit. UG 4 years of bachelor's program. 1 year of PG program. Integrated program. I hope the principal will initiate some new program, integrated program, 5 years. We are going to discontinue MPhil. Credit transfer and credit bank. Multidisciplinary education and research university. It's called MERU. Graded autonomy. Eventually, I hope St. Xavier's will become and eventually will become an autonomous college. It is already mentioned in the education policy, graded autonomy. Phasing out affiliation. If you go to the United States, you will see colleges are independent. I have visited many colleges in the US when I was a Fulbright fellow. Colleges are independent. They give their own degrees. But this is being done in a very careful manner. 15 years. National mission and mentoring. You have to mentor the weak colleges. You have to mentor the young faculties. Independent board of governors. Single regulator for education. Now we have so many regulating bodies, AICTE, UGC, Medical Council of India, so many institutions for us. So bring everything in one. Online self-disclosure based transparent system. Lots of interaction from philanthropists. If you look at United States, a lot of philanthropic funding coming into higher education. Fee fixation with a regulatory framework. There are lots of fantastic things are in there in the education policy. National Research Foundation to get a lot of money for research. Internationalization of education. The government is really interested to bring some of the good universities to India. They're going to set up campuses. Integration of vocational program. Vocational program will be embedded in the curriculum. Setting up of new high quality higher education institutions. A special education zone for disadvantaged regions, especially Northeast region. Lots of emphasis for languages. These are the silent futures of education policy. I'm going to quickly show you some of the slides. What is gross enrollment ratio? What is the current figure in gross enrollment ratio in India? 26.30. Look at China, 51. Look at South Korea, 94. Look at Malaysia, 45. Look at Indonesia, 36. Iran, 70. United States, 88. So we have to really increase the gross enrollment ratio. We have to give opportunity for the young people who complete their +2, they should be able to get into universities. So gross enrollment ratio has to be increased. Holistic and multidisciplinary education, flexibility of the subject. See, UG program, we are going to start 4 years of UG program. But you can have exit. You can exit after 1 year. See, I wanted to stop my UG after 1 year. I want to do something. Then you get vocational certificate. I want to stop my program after 2 years. Then you get advanced diploma. If you want to stop after 3 years, you get a bachelor's degree. If you're completing the whole program for 4 years, you get a bachelor's degree with a research certificate. So it's an extremely flexible program. MPhil is going to be discontinued. So this is very, very useful for the students. Integrated program they are going to start. Integrated program in chemistry, in economics. So then you will have very, very excellent students. You can have excellent students. They are mastered in, they are really very good in subject. Credit transfer, academic bank of credit. Students will have an academic bank of credit. I can make it more easily understandable. When I went to MIT, as a Fulbright fellow, what I found is, I have students in MIT carrying credits from University of Pennsylvania. I've seen an Indian student, he studied University of Pennsylvania for about 2 years for his bachelor degree. He took all the credits from UPenn, University of Pennsylvania, and went to MIT. And all the credits of UPenn have been approved by MIT. So this is what is the credit transfer. If a student is studying in St. Xavier's for 2 years, for a bachelor's program, he can go to Mumbai University, you know, for the remaining 2 years of his study. So this is fantastic. A student, studying in St. Xavier's for 2 years, he can stop the study for 1 year and he can go for a travel. And then he can come back to, St. Xavier's and continue the study. So his credits are in the bank. So this is credit transfer, academic bank of credit. But lots of flexibility is given to the students. Single regulator for higher education is very, very important. Now we have UGC, AICT, Medical Council of India, put everything under one umbrella. That is single regulator for higher education. Multidisciplinary education approach. See, look at IIT. IITs are more of technology, engineering, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, but now the concept will be changed. Even all IITs, you know, they are going to teach them excellent schools in languages, excellent schools in economics, in political science. I've made a statement, even engineering institutions such as IITs will move towards a more holistic, multidisciplinary education institutes. See, right now we have Malayalam University, you have University for Sanskrit, you have University for Medicine, you have University for Engineering. That's not really good. If you have an opportunity, you must visit BHU. If you go to BHU campus, they have everything. They have engineering, they have medicine, they have Ayurveda, they have everything. So we need to have multidisciplinary education approach. So that's a very good approach. Change the university nomenclature. If you look at the nomenclature of the university, it's very complex. Deemed to be university, affiliating university, affiliating technical university, unitary university, technological university, there are a variety of names. So all these universities will be transformed into university. Single nomenclature, very important. As in the US, this education policy envisages research intensive universities. I have gone to research intensive universities in the US. I have gone to teaching intensive universities in US. They do only teaching, no research. And autonomous degree granting colleges. So they are going to transform the whole institutions in the country are research intensive universities, teaching intensive universities. Phasing out affiliation system for 15 years. See, Mahatma Gandhi University has very close to 300 colleges. So we spend a lot of time dealing with the colleges. Eventually, all the colleges will be transformed into autonomous colleges. If you do that, then the university can focus more on their research, more on their teaching. So this is a very good process, phasing out affiliation system. It could be good for the colleges also. They become eventually independent. Lots of importance for languages in the new education policy. Focus on literature, scientific vocabulary of Indian languages, research on languages, promoting traditional arts, Indian Institute for Translation and Interpretation. So there are lots of thrust for languages. Preservation, growth, and vibrancy of all Indian languages is very important. This is very important to keep our diversity. If you look at the education policy, the NEP, you can see, the language policy, you have 3 language system. You can study 2 Indian languages plus English. Internationalization of education. The government is going to bring top universities from abroad into India. They should have a ranking of within 100 global ranking. that will give them opportunity for the students to go to, foreign university campuses. They are going to establish campuses in India. So if this could be introduced in a very, very healthy manner, then it could be very good for our own institutions to grow, to compete with international institutions. National mission for mentoring. This is a very important point. See, there are lots of colleges. I understand that father said the college is located in rural area. Such colleges could be mentored by a leading institute. Some of the IITs will mentor some of the colleges in rural area. My university is very happy to mentor some of the colleges in Idiki. So this is a very good process. Mentoring. Mentoring of young faculty members.
Sorry, I think Sabu sir has lost his network connection. We'll wait for him for a few minutes. It is informed that Sabu sir will rejoin soon, so we'll wait for him.
Divya teacher,
Yes, sir.
Sabu sir is trying to rejoin.
Okay, sir. Let he join. We will wait till he join.
Okay.
Is it okay, sir?
Okay.
Welcome back, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How many slides you see?
Sir, last slide പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് പോയത്.
Okay, okay. I will go to that slide.
Yes, sir.
ഇത് കാണാൻ പറ്റിയായിരുന്നോ?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Could you see this national portal? ഇത് കാണാൻ പറ്റിയോ? അതോ?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes. Did you listen to teacher education?
Sir, from here, if you can start, that will be better, sir, I think.
There is a separate program on national curriculum for teacher education. The government is going to start 4 years of integrated BEd program. കാണാമല്ലോ അല്ലേ?
കാണാം, sir. Clear ആണ്, sir.
The next program is National Scholarship Portal. അതായത് SC/ST കുട്ടികളെയൊക്കെ സഹായിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യ പുതിയ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ പോളിസിയിലെ നാഷണൽ സ്കോളർഷിപ്പ് പോർട്ടൽ തുടങ്ങുക. Public investment in education sector to reach 6% of GDP. ഇതൊരു വലിയൊരു പോയിന്റ് ആണ്. GDP-യുടെ 6% എഡ്യൂക്കേഷന് വേണ്ടി ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് മനസ്സിലാകാത്ത ആളുണ്ടോ? അല്ലെ മലയാളം മനസ്സിലാകാത്ത ആരെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ?
മലയാളം മനസ്സിലാവാത്ത ആരും ഇല്ല.
മലയാളം 6% of GDP-യുടെ 6% എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത് 1 or 2% മാത്രം ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുള്ളൂ GDP-യുടെ. ഒരു വലിയൊരു ജമ്പാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ പബ്ലിക് പ്രൈവറ്റ് ഫിലാന്ത്രോപ്പി പാർട്ണർഷിപ്പ്. US നമ്മൾ ഓരോ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ധാരാളം യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയുടെ ബിൽഡിങ്ങും എല്ലാം പണിത് കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഫിലാന്ത്രോപ്പിസ്റ്റുകളാണ്. ഐ വെന്റ് ടു യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി പെൻസിൽവേനിയ. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, മുമ്പേ പറഞ്ഞു. അവിടുത്തെ പ്രസിഡന്റ് തന്നെ പല ബിൽഡിംഗ് കാണിച്ചു. ഓരോ ബിൽഡിങ്ങിനും ഓരോ പേരുണ്ട്. ബിൽഡിങ്ങിന്റെ പുറത്ത് എഴുതിയിരിക്കും. ഞാൻ പ്രസിഡന്റ് ചോദിച്ചു വൈ ദിസ് നെയിം. ഒരു ബിൽഡിങ്ങിന് പോയപ്പം ആ ബിൽഡിങ്ങിന്റെ പേരാ ഹെൻറി ബിൽഡിംഗ്, ഹെൻറി അലക്സ് ബിൽഡിംഗ്. അപ്പൊ ഹെൻറി അലക്സ് ആരാന്ന് ചോദിച്ചപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു ഹെൻറി അലക്സ് ആണ് ഈ ഫിലാന്ത്രോപ്പിസ്റ്റ് ആണ് ഈ 10 നിലയുള്ള ബിൽഡിംഗ് പണിയാൻ കാശ് തന്നത്. വലിയ പാർട്ട്ണർഷിപ്പ്. നമ്മൾ അതെല്ലാം ടാപ്പ് ചെയ്യണം. ഗവൺമെന്റ് കനോട്ട് ഫണ്ട് ഓൾ ദിസ് infrastructure forces. So we need to have public private philanthropist participation. അങ്ങനെ വന്നെങ്കിലേ ഉള്ളൂ we will be able to contribute 6% of GDP for education. National Research Foundation വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു. NRF ഫോം ചെയ്യുക. If you look at the United States, they have NSF, National Science Foundation. If you look at Germany, they have DFG. If you look at South Africa, they have NRF. South Africa, നമ്മുടെ പേര് ഒന്നാം പോയി National Research Foundation. If you look at Canada, they have NSERC. So they are going to start NRF. എന്തിന് NRF-ന്റെ ഉദ്ദേശം എന്താ? Fostering strong research culture in the country. Building research capacity across higher education. This is a very innovative step. Let me show you some interesting slide. Where we stand in India in terms of where we stand, global, standing of India. Look at the investment for research. Research and investment in India നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ വേൾഡിലെ ഫിഗർ എല്ലാം കാണിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇന്ത്യ സ്പെൻഡ് ഓൺലി 0.88% of GDP for research. GDP-യുടെ 0.88 മാത്രം റിസർച്ചിന് സ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. US നോക്കിക്കേ. US, I was told that US and China is going to very close to 3 now. So US is 2.8. China is much ahead of us, 1.9. United Kingdom 1.8. So we have to really increase the spending for research. ഞാനൊരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. Why we can't find the next ramen? അപ്പൊ നല്ലവണ്ണം റിസർച്ച് ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തെങ്കിലും ഉള്ളൂ നമുക്ക് നോബൽ പ്രൈസ് ഒക്കെ മേടിക്കാൻ പറ്റത്തുള്ളൂ. Look at the number of patents are being filed in the country. In India, 17 patents per million population. Look at Korea, 4,451 patents per 1 million population. ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞു കൊറിയയിലാണ് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ GR ഉള്ളത്, more than 90%. Gross enrollment ratio ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ രാജ്യമാണ് കൊറിയ. China is much ahead of us in the number of patents. Look at the number of researchers per 10,000 people. 10,000 people എടുത്താൽ എത്ര researchers ഉണ്ട്? ഇന്ത്യയിൽ 4 പേരേ ഉള്ളൂ. Look at UK and US, 79 people. That is why UK and US has a very strong research base, a lot of research scientists. Look at number of publications we produce. US is 450,000 per year. China, I was told that going to overtake US now. 325, the right figure. UK 125. India is such a massive population, you know, our production is only 90,000 publications per year. I wanted to quote Professor C.N. Rao. Professor C.N. Rao's fantastic statement. Professor Rao, the Bharat Ratna awardee from Bangalore, he said, I'm not worried about the quantity as much as the quality of science coming from India. It is also not showing any improvement. He says India contributes less than 1% world's top 1% of research. Namukariya, a small contribution ആണ് India ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So we need a massive investment for research. And Professor Rao continued, I will read the statement of Professor Rao. There are a few individuals in various places who are doing well, but this is not enough. We need many good institutions doing outstanding work so that we can accommodate capable young scientists. Let me now show you one slide. What are the issues of NEP? A role of the state is not recognized. A very important point. You know, education is actually in the concurrent link. But state in a NEP. Role of state is not well recognized. Very much centralized approach. Lack of participation with local self-government. Creation of large number of autonomous colleges and universities will lead to anarchy. What are the important chamber? America college, our grading or close. India easy idea. That has to be done very carefully. All college autonomy universities that will lead to anarchy. Benefit, this sort of education policy will benefit the colleges in the urban area. Urban area college like a cool benefit, but badly affect colleges in rural areas. Very important point. No real commitment made for research funding. Research funding is a commitment on the market. They say they will spend 6% of 6% of GDP for total education. But they will committed to research that they will spend 3% or 2.5% for research. That is education policy. That will foreign institution that will lead to unhealthy competition. Our state university they may not be able to compete with all these foreign universities. So that has to be done very, very carefully. Otherwise, if you read this education policy, you know, the lack of pragmatic implementation strategy. So these are the important issues of critical. I hope you will have a lot of discussion today on this point. Finally, I was told by the IQAC coordinator, Dr. Santosh Kumar, he said, I should also talk about new generation courses. My campus in MU is going to start some of the new generation courses. Nanoscience and nanotechnology, we are active. Artificial intelligence, we are active. We are going to start robotics, Internet of Things, data science, energy materials, machine learning, food science and technology, blockchain, cloud computing, advanced materials. These courses that's extremely important. Extremely important. Our campus is going to start many programs in this domain. New generation courses. Courses trained laboratory new generation courses on the 4 years of bachelor's. Program. We are good. My campus is going to start integrated program. Integrated program in chemistry, integrated program in biological sciences, integrated program in computer sciences, integrated program in environmental science. അതുപോലെ integrated program in history, integrated program in political science, integrated program in Gandhi studies. അങ്ങനെ ധാരാളം integrated program in social science and science we are starting in the campus. അത് കോളേജിലൊക്കെ തുടങ്ങണം. Triple main നല്ല കാര്യമാണ്. For example, physics, chemistry, biological sciences, or physics, chemistry, mathematics. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് നല്ല vertical growth കിട്ടും. 4 years course കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ bachelor's course കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ their international mobility is increased. If you look at US, they have 4 years of bachelor's program. If you look at the United Kingdom, they have 4 years of bachelor's program. But triple mainum 4 years program, integrated program എല്ലാം കോളേജിൽ തുടങ്ങണം. And eventually we should also start 1 year of masters as in the US, as in the United Kingdom. So these are my major comments, major suggestions. I welcome you all to the campus. I don't know whether I have a photograph of the campus. This is my research group. I have a very strong group in chemistry. This is my PhD students in chemistry with you can see my collaborator from France. This is me. I have a big group in chemistry. So very welcome to the campus. This is my group in nanoscience. I'm leading a big group in nanoscience and nanotechnology. So I'm leading a postdocs, PhD students, very close to 50 in chemistry and nanoscience. You can see the director of the Nano Center, Dr. Nanda Kumar. We have students from Africa, students from Malaysia, Singapore in our group. This is the campus of Mahatma Gandhi University. Welcome to your campus. Our campus is very happy to support you in all your ventures, all your activities. And this is some nice pictures of Kottayam. We have beautiful, lakes. And I'm also the editor of nanostructures and nano objects. Teachers who work in the area of nano can submit your paper. This is an Xavier journal. Of site score is now 5.6. I wanted to build up an impact of close to 10. Not open access. Traditional journal, very strong international refereeing process. And I'm organizing an international conference, international webinar on 100 years of macromolecular science, 100 years of polymer science. Polymer science was actually formulated 100 years ago by a German Nobel laureate. So we are celebrating 100 years of macromolecular science. There could be 200 people. This is a webinar, international webinar. Very welcome to this conference to those who are really interested. Those who work in polymer science are most welcome to this international webinar. And we are also going to have a face-to-face meeting. We hope Corona will be over by next year. So April 9, 10, 11, we have an international conference on nanomaterials, face-to-face. So most welcome to your campus. And thank you so much for your patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is indeed a great pleasure listening to Sabu, sir. It was indeed an intellectual journey taking us through the evolution of educational policy and finally with a detailed portrayal of NEP 2020. Your expertise in this field is of great value to the webinar. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we would like to hear from the participants.